Not so close, Patches. Wouldn't want you to come down with this Scourge, too. You look 100 times better than I feel, stranger. Me and the rest of the people living in Daedric Grotto, we're all sick. Our healer calls it the Daedric Scrourge. It's going to be the death of us all. Mark my words. Oh, it is. No ordinary sickness, this one. Our community's healer, Kishka, says he thinks he can make a curative, but I'm afraid time is running out. We might just be smugglers and pirates, but we're not so terrible that we deserve this. If our healer can't produce the curative, then everyone in the grotto is going to die. And if it spreads to the rest of the island, well, I don't want to think about it. Last I saw, he was near the entrance to the grotto, looking as sick as I feel.
This grotto is cursed, outsider. The tides test me, outsider. Daedric Grotto has been twisted and overrun by Daedra. Not only have they turned the cave into something otherworldly, their very presence spreads a terrible and debilitating disease. I call it the Daedric Scrourge. As the grotto's healer, I noticed it soon after the Daedra appeared and the cave began to change. We were collecting ingredients for a curative when the illness finally overtook me. Now I am too weak to finish the task. My friend Razik, she is still inside, sick and alone. Outsider, would you assist me? Help me find Razik and gather the remaining ingredients for the curative. I will compensate you, of course. The grotto cannot be allowed to fall to this disease. Here, this lists what afflicted items to look for and where to find them. As for Razik, we were separated deep inside the grotto after the illness struck me and I became disoriented. Deckhand Horus helped me reach here, then he took ill as well. First, it weakens the body, then it targets the mind. Makes the tides within so turbulent that it slowly erodes the person you were until you become feral. Soon after that, the end comes, violent as a summer storm. The curative is untested, but I am among the best healers on the island, and it is the only chance the people of the grotto have. If it does not work, the grotto, perhaps all of Solstice, is doomed. The grotto serves as a safe haven for smugglers, pirates, and those who prefer to live apart from Sunport and the scattered villages. It was a relatively peaceful place. Then the Daedra came. About the same time we noticed the arrival of the dark necromancers on the island. The ones the force from the mainland call the Worm Cult. The Daedra are bad enough, but the sickness they brought with them, and the grotto, it is changing. I do not know how else to describe it. The interior of the grotto seems to be transforming, becoming something strange, otherworldly. You will need to see it for yourself, outsider. I do not have the words. Besides the disease and the Daedra, there are the victims themselves. When an afflicted enters the second stage of the illness, they become wild, feral. People I have known as friends suddenly attacking anyone around them who hasn't yet become feral. The curative will not help those who have turned feral. So, if we encounter them, do what you must. If the tides are with us, we will craft the curative before any more of my people reach that stage of the disease. That dying from the blighted Daedra should do nicely. Some of my best tonics were imagined under this tree.
Kishka? Do my eyes deceive me? I must be more ill than I thought.
No fever dream, Razik. I am here.
I was sure I was going to turn feral and die out here without ever seeing Kishka again. I'm glad to see he found some help after we got separated. I've dealt with this sort of oblivion excrement before, but never anything like this sickness. The anchors. That's one of the reasons I left Tamriel and finally made my way here. I was hoping I was done with Oblivion invasions. No such luck, huh? Daedra, floating islands of weird rock, otherworldly terrain. What else could it be? The people of the grotto are smugglers and pirates. We weren't prepared to deal with invaders from Cold Harbor. Some of the Daedra have been shouting about Molag Bal and Cold Harbor since they got here. Like they're proud of it or something. Once you have everything Kishka needs, get him to the docks. I'll meet you there, but I don't want to slow you down.
We will see you at the grotto docks. Disgusting, I know, but a vital ingredient for the curative. You can definitely see signs of the Scourge in that branch. To the docks at the center of the grotto, outsider. Then I can prepare the curative.
Quickly, Kishka! I can feel my mind
I hope you're
slipping
watching.
already.
I hate to admit it, but the orc is right. We're running out of time.
Come, outsider. I still need your assistance. When we barricaded ourselves at the docks, once the rest of the grotto began to show signs of turning feral, I set up my healer's workstation in the southern hut. However, I do not trust myself. Will you help me prepare the curative, outsider? The elixir is almost ready. You just need to add the remaining ingredients to the cauldron and wait for a reaction. Then, bottle a sample of the curative and bring it back to me.
Someone needs to test the curative. You're not sick, and Kishka's too important. Besides, I want to do this. Consider it payment for the grotto taking me in after I fled Tamriel. Absolutely. Kishka invented the cure. You helped him create it. Why shouldn't it fall to me to be the one to make sure it works? Make sure it's safe. At least I can do this much for the people that gave me a home.
Slowly, my friend. That isn't bog iron ale.
I feel strong. You did it, Kishka. You and the outsider did it.
It appears we did it, friend. The curative will save those in the grotto who have not yet turned feral and succumbed to the Daedric Scrourge. And I think I can craft a stronger elixir to help the feral as well. Eventually. And once we are all cured and strong enough, we will need to deal with the invading Daedra as well. But that is tomorrow's problem. The Tides sent you to me when I needed you most, and for that, I am grateful. Take this with my thanks.
That tasted awful. But at least my strength is returning, and my head is clear. Now we can give the curative to the others. Then I'll help Kishka make more. Thanks for helping us, outsider. The grotto means nothing to you, but to us, it's everything.
I will get right to work making more of the curative. Then, I will find a way to help those who have become feral as well as sick. The grotto will beat this foul disease, friend. And your help has been much appreciated. I hatched here to no one. While I fended for myself, the ruffians would tell me stories about the island. How the Corlania elves hurt my people. That's why I decided never to venture out. I'm sure forcing my kind to the east of Solstice was only the start. But I've never met one myself. You're the second outsider I've met after Razig. Hopefully, Sunport has more like you.
I can't wait to try that curative Kishka concocted. I hope it tastes like coconut, maybe with a touch of juniper berry.
Daedric Grotto is my home. As soon as I'm feeling better, I'm going to head out there and send a few Daedra back to oblivion.